everybody, this is Elissa from Make Arts and Crafts, and today I have the first in my flower delivery version 1 and 2 comparison series. So this is going to be our first video, and I'm going to be doing these I'll be uploading these on Fridays for you and kind of showing you basically the progress that I've done each week as I work on these two kits from version 1 and version 2. And both of these kits are by You May Art, and they're both from Diamond Art Club. And I absolutely love both kits. I loved version 1 when I first saw it, and then when I found out that they were doing a version 2, larger, with more colors, with a better rendering, I was super excited. And I was like, hey, wouldn't that be cool to see what the two looked like, and to see why Diamond Art Club decided that they needed to come out with a version 2. So this will kind of give you an idea of those changes and what a difference the larger size and the better rendering can be. So I want to kind of start off this video and show you guys what the two trays of colors looked like kitted up. So here you'll see how I decided to kit up my version 1. If you watch my kitting up videos, you can see this is how they ended up. And you'll kind of see as I go down how the colors will go. As I use up these colors for these 3 colors here, I will end up downgrading them in size. So as we go down on this color at the 336 and it gets to where it'll fit in one of these containers, what I call the large container, because this I call it an extra large, I will take it down in size so it'll fit in this one. And as these get used, I'll go down in size if I'm not already at the end of the kit, depending on how long it takes me, so that way it all can fit into the one tray with them laying flat, because I like to be able to have all of my trays like stacked on each other for my Elizabeth Ward containers. So this is the version 1, or V1 as I typically refer to it, and that's the tray that you'll see there. And for anybody that's not familiar with them, both of them are square kits. Version 1 is going to be a 55.8 by 80.7, and it has, as you can see here, 66 colors. We will have 6 ABs and 1 fairy dust in this kit here. So that's kind of what we're working with version 1. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring over my version 2 trays for you all, so that way you can kind of see what those ones look like. And let me slide my version 1 trays out of the way. So version 2 trays, because version 2, as I go jiggling everything, is much larger. So this is going to be a 70 by 102 centimeter kit. It's also squares. It has 81 colors. So you'll see here, you can see how much larger it is. It takes up this full tray and then part of a second tray here. In order to get everything to fit in well with how it all worked in here, it looks odd, but the only way to get these to stack just right and everything to go sizing wise and not look really odd with this row, I ended up having to stack the 367 vertically. So and it's like just barely, I just need to use this color in the canvas, just like 1 or 2 sections, like 1 section maybe is all it'll take, and then I'll be able to take this down into what I call the medium container, and then I won't have this vertically anymore, because that's driving me bonkers that I had to have that one tray or that one container vertical. But as you can see here, they have the containers like this. And then when I'm working on version 2, I have this set up just like this, so that way I can work here, and then if I need the colors that are down in this section, I can kind of pull them out. I'll slide this over just a touch and pull them out, kind of like that, and then I'll work from there. So in version 2, like I said, at 81 colors, we have 7 ABs right through here, and then we have 4 fairy dusts over here. So definitely much more on the color. More colors, more variety. And I think as of right now, this is the highest color count canvas that Diamond Art Club carries, is version 2 for flower delivery. So now we're going to get into what everybody actually wants to see, which is the actual finish, or well, the actual progress of what I've done so far. So now here we go. So I've only done 1 section so far, which we will see here. Let me adjust my camera just a touch so you can get the full picture. So I have done one section, and with my section, I decided to, let me bring it up a little bit. I had it all adjusted and then I changed things around. So I divided the canvas in half. Both of the canvases were divided in half. And then I divided them into 7 sections vertically. So on the large canvas, it's 14.5 centimeter sections. And then on the smaller canvas, it ends up being roughly an 11.5 centimeter section. So that's kind of what we're working with here. So it's roughly 80, this one is roughly 40.35 by 11.5 for the section here, whereas this one we're looking at a 14.5 by a 51 centimeter section, and that's what I worked with. And if you want to know how long it took me, because I'm the nerdy person that likes to record time for everything, this section, I worked on this one first because I just wanted to. It was so pretty. And then I did this section last, or second. And it'll be kind of whatever my mood strikes as far as which section I do first. So this one took me 3 hours and 6 minutes to do. And then version 2, that section took me 4 hours and 24 minutes. See, I've even got a tracker to log how long it takes me to do each section in my book here. So you can see it took like roughly an hour and 20 minutes longer to complete this section here than it did to complete the version 1 section. So as you can tell, like one of the big things that I can see right away is one, right through here, you can see these lines for the window around the building are almost like they don't feel as vertical because of how they kind of did the gradations of these lines around the window right through here. Also, if you look, yes, you have some very similar colors in the window. So you have similar kind of like tans here, and then this like orangey color here. You've got those similar, slightly different tones, but a similar tanny feel, and then the orange right through there. But you can see how different those colors are as well. So very different colors in that sense. A lot of the similar colors, but at the same time different. This is a different blue, whereas this is like more of a light blue, and this is kind of a blue-gray. Color in the window here for that reflection, completely different color than you have here. Same thing, this window, completely different color than this window here. You have a lot of the similar colors here in the bush, or in the flowery bush here. Similar colors in the flowery bush here. This one has more ABs in the actual bush and like the density of the bushes here. I believe, I'd have to look back. It looks like it's more of like a wisteria bush. And then this one has much less ABs within this particular bush itself, and more of like the more just straight purples. This one has more of the greens and darker colors there. And then when we come over into the sky, you can see already the clouds in the sky, completely 100% different rendering in the colors as we come right through here. The shape, very similar shapes-wise, but they chose to do a 100% different rendering in these two, like, completely different renderings. And I feel like in a way they basically took what they had rendered here, and it's almost like they took it and just like threw it out the window and started from scratch with the completely new everywhere with this one here. So you've got an AB right here. This whole area here is an AB, and then whereas this one is not, and then it kind of blends differently with this color here, different there, here. So in this one, the first AB you have is this little bit of a splash of an AB right here. That's your first AB as you come in this way. You've got a good sparkle, but our first AB is right here, and then you have that same AB kind of splatters a little bit there, and then we have a little bit of like a green AB, or like the right through here as some greens there. That's kind of what you're seeing in this one, whereas here, this already has a lot of special drills just in this one section. So we've got this whole swath of AB, and then you come over and you got more swath, massive swath of AB right through here, which huge sections of it. This whole area, this toning of blue right here, that's actually one of the fairy dust diamonds. Here, and it continues on right there, and then interspersed, I've already got dog hair all over everything. A couple different ABs mixed in right up here, and then you have some ABs splashed up here, more fairy dust right there, some AB there. So you can see already there's a big difference between the two. One of the big differences I also noticed when I was looking at these two canvases, to kind of prepare myself for this project, knowing that it's going to be a very intense project for me, just because squares take a lot more focus for me, and they also take me a lot longer to do than rounds do, because I'm much quicker with rounds, and I find rounds to be much more relaxing. So I'm pacing myself on this project, which is why I'm like, I'm going to break this down into these sections, and we'll see how long it takes me to do like each comparison video for each of these sections, and I'm not going to rush myself. So if you guys only get like one video of one section each week, that's what you get. But we'll see how much progress I make over the weekend for these two areas, and then over the course of the week, and so on. But like I said, I'm going to pace myself, because I don't want to get burned out doing this project for you guys, and I want to be able to still enjoy doing the other fun, like my other canvases in between as well. And I'm loving working on this so far, but I mean, I've still got like 2 very large canvases that I have a lot of to finish, so I'm pacing myself. I'm in it for the long haul. But as you can see, this canvas being smaller, one of the things you'll notice when you have a high color count canvas and it's a smaller canvas, you're going to have a lot more confetti, and that's what you're seeing right through here. This whole section here was a lot of confetti. There were a number of colors that I put down, only maybe like 10 drills in this little area here. Granted, yes, this was a lot of color blocking with then like the confetti areas to intermix right through there. Whereas this was pure confetti here, and then this was more of like the line blocking with some of the color blocking there. This entire section was almost exclusively color blocking, a little bit of like the confetti edges, but that to me is like nothing. That's like you have to have that in anything. And then even here didn't feel like any kind of confetti. Yeah, you have little splashes of color, but it didn't feel like there was any confetti in this entire section. Even though this has 81 colors, so 15 more than what you have on this canvas, because it's a much larger canvas, you can get away with not having to do as much. You can get away with not having to do them in such like a big swath of confetti. You can do more of that color blocking because you get more resolution just from the nature of having a larger canvas, which is also why you can see that these lines of the building are straighter to begin with, and you have a better line for this diagonal. The line in the building here much straighter versus what you're seeing down on this one, and that's part of why, let me pop one of those drills down. That's part of why I think, in my theory, I'm talking with my hands like against my body as if you can see my hands, because I'm one of those hand talking peoples, and that's part of like in my thought process, that's part of why I believe that Diamond Art Club wanted to re-release this kit in a much larger size, was so they could do a better basically a better representation of it and have those better lines like what you're seeing over here. Because just alone, I'm already seeing, like, I don't mind the look of something like this. Some people would not like how this is rendered with the building, kind of like not having these straight lines. It doesn't bother me, but that's just me personally. A lot of people this would, and they want it to look like this. So anyways, these are kind of my thoughts on just our first section being done. I'm going to try to keep these videos short. I'm not going to rehash all of everything as I go through these videos. And I'm going to kind of just touch on what I'm seeing in each of the new sections. So like the color differences, things like that, those that I talked about in this video. I'm not going to rehash all of that in every video that I go through, and I'm not going to like go through and necessarily show the drills in every single video because I showed them here. You can see the comparison and the differences in the two different drill kits, so I don't need to show those each time. It's also going to get interesting as I move on and progress down on this canvas, because right now it's easy for them to fit like right here with one section, but when I was taking like my start photo for this kit, I had to like lay down a massive like towel sheet type thing on the floor and then take the photo that way, because both of them are so much larger than anything I've ever done. And like, yeah, it'll be interesting. So I'll probably have to move my camera tripod to the edge of my desk and then film over the edge of my desk onto my floor when I'm doing my filming as I progress, just because of how big these two canvases will be. And that'll probably be how I have to do it, to give you guys a view where you can see more than just like a tiny section of it, because they're going to be so big as I move on. So that's going to get interesting as I progress because of how big the canvases are. But anyways, so this is my first initial thoughts for the comparison series for Flower Delivery version 1 and version 2. And I hope you guys enjoy this. So let me know your thoughts below on what you think of the rendering comparison and the rendering differences. I don't like how ABs never seem to come through well on, like, especially these light colored ABs never seem to come through well on like videos like this, because they look so beautiful in person. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everybody.